Big news today, low interest rates for business loans, mortgages, and other lending may be coming back. The latest consumer price index report was released today. It's the best report in over 2 years with the year-over-year change 3%. I'm going to explain exactly what this means for you, why it's good news for you as an individual, as a small business owner when it comes to borrowing, and I'm going to give the counter argument what the potential downside is here. I'll keep today's video short. Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. As always, thanks so much for tuning in and subscribing. We always try to cover the latest, most important information for you when it comes to the economy and things that affect small businesses, especially funding. And if you care about funding, go download the free Skip app. We've got dozens of grants available, funding partners, and so much more. And it looks like funding for businesses is going to get better soon. I'll give you my prediction on when I think loan interest rates are going to go down and how far down they'll go. Here's the report. As you can see, the CPI index, which directly informs the Fed's policy, should the Fed raise interest rates or not. They look at this inflation data. A year ago in June 2022, it was the highest in 40 years, and see how far it's dropped down since then. The overall news is this: the US economy remains resilient this year despite the Fed's rate increases, defying predictions of an economic downturn. There was talk about a hard landing, there was talk about a soft landing, but somehow the economy has remained resilient. Hiring did slow in June, but still overall employment is strong, and the US economic output rose at a 2.3% annual rate during the last quarter. So here's why this news today is so important. The Fed has been trying to get inflation back down to 2%. That's why they've been raising interest rates at every meeting over the past year and a half. And that interest rate raising has affected borrowing. All business loans, all mortgages have been directly affected because of this right here. If you're a business owner that's looking for 100K, 200K, a million, 2 million, you are paying a lot in interest as a result. In fact, here's a great chart that shows the 10-year Treasury bond yield over the past 25, 30 years. You can see these rock bottom 10-year Treasury rates from spring and summer 2020. Money was basically free for 6 to 9 months going into 2021, and this has been the uptick since then. This was coupled with printing $6-7 trillion, and a lot of folks, especially the 33 million small businesses in the US, are struggling now because reality has set in. These cheap capital tailwinds from 2020, 2021 had ended, but we may be at the peak now or weeks away from the peak. The Fed is set to meet in a couple weeks. And before this report came out, they were signaling that they were going to raise the Fed funds rate 2 more times, do 2 more rate increases, and then perhaps start to go down. But with this report today, I predict we're only going to see 1 more rate raise at this July meeting. Let's hope everything stays good, stays under control. That means after that, we'll start to see interest rates go back down. Now, this may take 6 months, 9 months, or a year. I'm going to share what I think will happen in a minute, but just to know, interest rates won't be slashed overnight. Remember, the Fed is trying to control a few factors at once. Inflation, they want to keep it at 2%, jobs and employment steady, and they're trying to balance all those things at once, but finally looks like things are under control. The right moves have been happening. Now, there have been some upsides from these higher interest rates, which is that banks are paying you to deposit with them. 2%, 3%, 4%. Here are a couple partners we have. I'll link to in the description. If you have cash right now, you probably want to park it in somewhere where you can earn 2%, 3%, 4%, some cases higher interest rates on the money you have. Borrowing is expensive now, but again, that will start to change soon. I think as we go into Q4, especially of this year, borrowing will get better and better, and especially heading into next year in 2024. So if you're looking to borrow for yourself, for a mortgage, for your business, hopefully this gives you hope. If you are looking for immediate options, funding options that is, take a look in the description. We've got a handful of line of credit loan partners, which still offer competitive rates. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on everything business, funding related, grants related, check out the Skip dashboard or app, search Skip in the app stores. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.